Hi everybody, this is David, and in this video we're going to install the ETS NQ Trader onto the NinjaTrader platform, and then we will turn the NinjaTrader platform on, apply it to a chart, and discuss ATMs and some of the strategy settings. Now, a few things before we begin. When you purchased the software, you received an email with instructions on how to download the software as well as an instructional manual. So at this point you should have already read the manual and downloaded the software. This should just be a basic overview of what you read in that manual. One other thing, in that manual you'll have specifics on how we use this strategy. Specifics as the times we trade it, the tick charts we use, the ATM settings we use, etc. This video is not going to discuss that. It's simply going to discuss how to install it, how to apply it to a chart, and go through the settings. So anything I do in this video is not to be construed as what we actually do. Again, go back to the instructional manual for all the settings that we use. And lastly, it's important that NinjaTrader is turned off when you install this strategy. If NinjaTrader is turned on while you do it, the file will probably get corrupted and it's not going to work right, and it just becomes a big mess. So make sure NinjaTrader is turned off. So let's begin. I've got my downloadable right here, and we simply double click it. And it's just like any other software program you more than likely installed in the past. You just read through it, click next, and it pretty much takes care of itself. So you will notice this says ETS NQ Trader V1. At the time of this recording, we are on version 1. There may be a time will be on a version 1A or maybe a version 2, but the install process will still be the same. And when you download it from the website, the software, you'll always have the most current version. So let's click next. Very important to read the end user license agreement. You can print it out if you'd like by pressing print. Click I accept, click next, go ahead and read through that and click next, and pretty much software just takes care of itself. You may get a Windows pop up, click yes if you do, and click finish, and the software is installed. Let's pause for a moment and get the Ninja platform up and running, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We have the NT7 platform up, and you'll see I'm connected to the market replay. And I did that because currently the market's closed, and in my next video I'm going to illustrate how the software actually takes trades, and I really can't do much with the market close, so I went ahead and downloaded some market replay data so I can show you how it works. So let's go ahead and open up a chart. We'll click on File, New, Chart, and again refer to the instructional manual for all the specifications as far as tick charts and times. This is just a basic overview of the software. So I'm just going to click NQ0914. I'm going to leave all this alone because again we're not doing the training in this video. Click OK, and we'll have a chart up. One question we seem to get a lot is, can I use candlesticks or do I have to use OHLC? And the answer is, it doesn't matter, whatever you like. The strategy does not look for dojis or high-low close bars. It reads the actual price action and it places its trades off of that. So if you like candles, great, use them. If you like OHLC, that's just as fine. My videos tend to seem to be a little easier viewed if I'm on candlesticks, so I tend to use them with the videos. Okay, so here's the NQ. Let's go ahead and apply the strategy. I'm going to right click on my chart, left click on strategies, and depending on what you may have already installed on your PC, you may have several different strategies over here. You want to just select the ETS NQ Trader V1, click New. And once you select this, you'll be able to change some of the data here. And let's very quickly talk about a few of the things. Now, we've made this software super friendly. For most people, all you have to do is adjust the times. If, say, you're on the West Coast, save it, apply it to a chart, and it's good to go. But let me just drill down a little bit deeper. And for every one of these, P01 through P18, if you select on one of them, you will see down here a little description of what it is. So you can see alerts on, and these are simply audio alerts. ETS NQ long or ETS NQ short. And if you would like to change these WAV files to different WAV files, if you know how to do that, that's fine. Back coloring on And this is the back coloring colors. For a long it will back color green, and for a short it will back color red. If you can change those to off, or you can change the colors if you like. Now time is important because we have to put something in here. And we live on the East Coast, so we put the market hours for us 9:30 to 1600. So if you're on the West Coast, you'll need to change this to the appropriate time. For example, if you do live in the West Coast and you keep this set at 9:30, it will be 3 hours after your opening bell before it ever places any trade. So be cautious with that. And a question we get also is, what is this trade exit time? Well, this is how it works. The trade end time says that after 1600, or whatever time you have in here, the strategy will not initiate any new positions. However, if it's in a position prior to this time, it will close that position out by 1614, or whatever time you have in there. So P12, P13, that's just the strategy buttons that you'll see. You can, for the most part, leave those the way they are. ATM, these are important. The strategy trades off of an ATM that you're going to create on your local PC. And we have it called ETS, capital N, capital Q1. And we're going to show you how to do this, but you can change this if you wish, but we'll come back to this in just a moment. Entry markers on, if you want to see the little markers for the trades, there you go. Equity max gain and equity max loss. Pretty simple. Let's say you want to have a max profit of $300 and say a max loss of $300, or whatever it is that you want to do. And again, for our settings, go to the instructional manual. What this means is this: it will not stop in the middle of a trade to get you plus or minus 300. It doesn't do that. What it does is this: before a trade is executed or even placed, it will look at your profit and loss. If you're, say, at $280 profit, because it's below 300, it will take the next trade. And when that trade is over, it will look at your profit and loss. If it's above $300, then it will stop. If it's below $300, it will still continue. Same thing with the loss. If you're down, say, $298, it will still take the next trade. And when that trade is over, it will calculate where you're at, and it will then stop if you're below 300. So these are not to be misconstrued as it will stop you at that level, because it will not do it. Okay. P18 is more of an internal report for us. You don't need to worry about that. The next thing really is account. Right now we're on replay 101 because we're using the market replay data, so that's the only option that I've got. But if you're on your live account and you're ready to trade on your live account, you must put your live account number in here. Now, as long as you're connected correctly, when you hit this drop down arrow, you'll see your account number down here. You just simply click that so it knows to trade that account. We've had many people with previous strategies forget to do that. They come in, they're excited, they've been trading on sim and they have confidence in it, and they come in, turn everything on, and at the end of the day they say, wow, man, we had a great trading day, but they get their trading statement and it doesn't show any profit or loss, and they call us complaining what happened. Well, the software doesn't know you wanted to trade live. You have to come in here and you have to tell it that you want to trade on your live account. We can't do that for you. You have to do that. All right. So let's go ahead and apply this to a chart and see how it looks. Now you'll see we have a few buttons over here: strategy on, entry on, cancel close, and ETS NQ1. First thing is strategy on. The fact that it's got back coloring tells you that the strategy is enabled and it's ready and willing to place a trade. If I were to click this one time, it would turn everything off. Okay, turn it back on to how we had it. But you'll see that entry on is grayed out, and this is by default always going to be grayed out. You have to physically press this button for the software to take positions. If you forget to do that, it will not place any trades. So when you're ready to trade, click the entry on button and you're good to go. If for any reason you want to cancel or close a trade, just simply click the cancel or close button. Now, one thing before we get into the ATM strategies is when you shut down for the day. If we were to close Ninja right now with the strategy turned on, it's going to physically remove the strategy from the chart. So the next day we're going to have to come back in, apply it to a chart. Not that it's difficult, but we'll have to reapply it to a chart, and depending on where you live, you may have to adjust your time values, and who really wants to do all that? The best thing to do is go to your Ninja Control Center, click on the Strategy tab. You'll see we have an ETS NQ trader. You'll see it's selected, enabled. Just simply disable it by unchecking the box, and now you're good to go. You can turn off Ninja, come back the next day, come right back in this tab, select enabled, and you're good to go. Alright, so, and of course you'll have to return a strategy on and things like that. Okay, now let's go into ATMs. But first let's go back into the strategies and let me point out one more quick thing before we do ATMs. You'll see this is all grayed out, and that's because we have a strategy turned on. So we have to take it to false, click apply, and then we can come back into this data. Let's say you want to save these settings. Maybe you live on the West Coast and you change that to 06300 or something like that, or whatever, and you want to make changes. You could change these default settings by simply right clicking and then left clicking set default for the ETS NQ trader. Then every time you apply the chart, the strategy to a chart, it will have all your settings in there. Now I don't want to do that because I'm happy with the settings that we already have, so I'm just going to leave that alone. But let's go ahead and talk about ATMs. Okay, as I said, the strategy itself is going to trade off of an ATM that we have to create. So let's just create a quick ATM, and again, refer to the instructional manual for the exact specifics of how we do it. Let's just say we're going to trade 3 contracts. We'll do 1 contract per level here, and we're going to use, maybe we'll say 10 ticks for the first. We'll use 10 ticks for all stop losses. Maybe our profit targets are 10 ticks, 20 ticks, and we'll say 30 ticks. Okay, just a very quick example of how to do this. Well, now we have an ATM created, but we have to name it, and the name has to match what the strategy is looking for that was in that field. So the easiest way to do this is to just use the strategy names that we templated in there for you. And you right click here, left click Manage ATM Strategy Templates, and we'll call it ETS capital N capital Q 1. Now click Save. And now we have ETS NQ1. Now let's go back to the strategy here. And you'll see we have ETS NQ1. So when we enable the strategy, it is going to look for that ATM. And of course, it's going to find the ATM because we just created it. If it doesn't find the ATM, it's not going to place the trades. So if you have lowercase and higher case, or caps rather, you have to have that perfect. Now let's say you want to use your own ATM strategy. Let's say I want to make one that's just called Dave NQ1. Okay, that's fine. Click OK. Now it's going to start looking for a Dave NQ1. It's not going to find one, so it won't place any trades. So I'm going to have to come in here and take this template, or whatever template I want to make, and save it again. So manage ATMs, and then we'll call it Dave NQ1. And now I have an ATM that matches. So whatever you see right in here when this strategy is on your chart, this is what it's going to look for. It has to find this ATM for this to actually place the trades. And of course I actually have to turn the entry on before it's going to place any trades as well. So as you can see, it's very easy to use. Once you change what few parameters you may need to change, such as the time value or max daily gain or max daily loss, you can again right click it, save it as your default. And to apply this to a chart, just look how easy it is. Let me start over again and just show you how easy it really is. This is what we do every day. We click New Chart. Well, we don't have to do this either because it's already turned on. Click OK. Click Strategies. Select NQ Trader version 1. Click OK. Now turn entry on, and we're good to go. Every day it takes no more than a couple of seconds to get the strategy up and running. So in the next video, we're going to watch the strategy actually place some trades. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.